The session that we're going to do before lunch is with Medecision as a customer, and we'll talk around IT transformation, and then we'll move Tinder to just after lunch. A great topic to come back from lunch and hear about Tinder. So with that, let me introduce our next host for the discussion around IT transformation. And this is literally where we're talking to a lot of customers that either want to get out of the data center business, or at least they're doing massive transformation and they really want to get out of at least managing infrastructure and focus on the core business and adding value. And so to help us talk about that, we will have Medecision join us here in a second. But to start us off, please welcome the director of our IT transformation business, Dwan van der Westhuizen, or as we call him, Hypervisor.
So I've been at Raka for about 9 years, and it's really inspirational to see all the faces and the logos in the room. So I just want to thank you again for your partnership and Solve and making this such a success. As Ian introduced, IT transformation, we trying to help central IT enable change through solutions like our private clouds on VMware, Microsoft, and OpenStack, through disaster recovery and business continuity solutions, or our technology and strategy services. And Medecision is one of those accounts that we helped transform from being hosted or running on a installed software platform on IBM P-Series to a software as a service solution running on elastic scalable cloud. So a little bit about Medecision. So Medecision is a SaaS company that runs consumer engagement, clinical software, and analytics for enterprises. They do run this for about 40 million consumers on all 50 states. They aggregate clinical, operational, and financial data to get a 360-degree view of the customer. And this footprint, like I said, spans all 50 states, 40 million consumers. Their challenge was rapid growth. They're in a rapidly evolving, fast-paced market, and to compete, they have to be able to keep up with the change in the market. They were running, like I said, on an installed server, like IBM P-Series. They needed a partner to help migrate them off into a cloud, an elastic, scalable platform where they can keep up with the rapid change in the market. They also need to change and transform their IT. This spanned the tools, the processes, the people, and the culture. And Rackspace really helped them to transform, to migrate this off, and to run in the cloud to be able to keep up with the change in the business. So to tell us more about Medecision and the story, I'm going to welcome Bill Adiletta from Medecision on stage. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It's always a question when they put this last speaker up before lunch. What's the logic? What's the secret? A good story. Some exciting tales, or perhaps you're a New Yorker, you talk fast and maybe get through the entire topic with all the material, but very quickly. So I'm pleased to tell you a little bit about Medecision. They provide some very valuable information for the insurers, which are called payers, providers, which are the healthcare workers, and patients. They, as Wayne said, they represent 40 million consumers, patients, and they serve 8 of the top 10 insurers in the United States, in 50 states. And so what they provide is the efficiency of how an insurance firm, their facilities, hospitals, clinics operate. They also provide feedback to the patients so that they know when they should get checkups. They know if they have medicine needs that have to be refilled. So it's a very powerful set of tools. But as many firms emerged, they sold licenses to their customers. And some of them hosted it other places. That industry was looking powerfully for a SaaS solution because the growth is so dramatic. And so we were involved. I'm a consultant to Medecision, and I was asked to bring in a team of people to help in the transformation. We specialize in some of the cloud services. And one of the things that we faced was they had a legacy system, as Wayne mentioned, IBM P-Series. We wanted to migrate that to a SaaS solution on virtualized Linux servers. And we had to do it in a very compressed time period and migrate all the users because the lease for the other data center was going to come up in a finite period of time. So one of the things we needed to do was find a partner to help us through that rapid process. And it took a team of people. In fact, people is so important in this business. One of the firms that we brought in to help, and I'd like to give a shout out and have them stand up, is Clover Communications. Guys, would you take a stand? Thank you. We had to write an RFP, manage the process with 8 cloud providers to assess what solution would match Medecision's needs. And in that process, I'm sure you're familiar with the fact that it takes a lot of meetings, a lot of detail. So first there was another team, a firm that we brought in to help design the future state. They're not here today, but Intuitive Technology Partners, and they helped, working with Clover and the team, put together the future state design, what we're looking for. And then we had to get some project management. So Tal, are you in the audience? If you could stand up. Ah, thank you. So then we needed somebody to work closely with Rackspace as the migration began and keep the schedule on track. So these are the sort of people that we reached out to. And then what happened was, when we did the assessment of the cloud providers, there were 2 finalists. And Rackspace was one of them, but not the top one. But in the process of negotiating with both of them, one of the things I can say is Medecision was surprised at the first one and delighted at the Rackspace response as we move forward with dual negotiations. When you're under a very constrained time frame and you're trying to move through a process contractually, technically, and to get the right partner, it was interesting to see the response from Rackspace. Many of the presenters here talk about fanatical support. We heard it as a buzzword, candidly, and we came to realize it as really a powerful part of the offering from Rackspace. And without it, we wouldn't be in a position where at the end of this month, we'll be 100% migrated with all of those, the entire customer base for Medecision. One of the other things was the challenge of what made the criteria different between one provider and another. Well, certainly it was the commercial part. There was also the contractual part, and they were delightfully flexible, and within a first 1 or 2 rounds with lawyers, we were able to get a contract signed. We would not have with the other alternative, which is a big part. And then with the requirement to make sure that we had the right size configuration, things changed over time. One of the things we found delightful is that as we found the need for expansion, more requirements, a new product line came along that required MongoDB, we were delighted to see that we got tremendous support rapidly and with the right technological level to be able to help develop this new product. And as I said, a lot of this has to do with the quality of people that we work with. And somewhere in here, I think some of the rackers that we're working with, we had a meeting this week earlier. Can you all stand up? I'd like to give a shout out to the team we're working with. Thank you very much. They've been outstanding. And as you've heard many times with a lot of people here, that it is, at the end of the day, the people you work with. And which is why I wanted to give a shout out to the rackers and the team that we've worked with to make this happen. the future is now one where in the prior environment there was a brittle legacy system that would not scale, that had limited backup. There's over a dozen benefits that come with this new implementation in Rackspace that includes full software and technology refresh, all new hardware, all new software, updated security. The future state also allowed for performance improvement, even with including encryption at rest, which was an important part of the healthcare model, which didn't exist previously, but was always a concern of how it would impact performance of the software. And we've already had great response from the customers that with current implementation, including encryption at rest, they have a 30% performance improvement. There's a full DR, hot environment. There is a complete refresh of security. And we have scalability to twice what the intended goal was for our market space. So that's one of the driving forces that we were looking for. And all of this comes at a 20% run rate increase. So many times people think of going to the cloud just to save money, but I was trying to give the example. There was so much legacy that we had to modernize, so many things that we had to upgrade, and we wanted to improve security, performance, and we're very pleased at the level of the total system that's come about, the dedication from the Rackers, and the fact that this is a very pleasant success story to talk about how Rackspace has become a great partner for Medecision. I want to thank you all. I was trying to make this brief so we can get off to lunch, and I really think this is a wonderful event for people to understand. Satisfied customers love to stand up and say thank you. Thank you all.